Mixing inside of Logic is just a preference, guys. This is what I choose to use to mix all of my projects, from even from music production to movie editing. This is just essentially the central point of my setup is Logic Pro X right now. Now, what I'm about to show you guys can be used across any DAW that you're using. It really doesn't matter what you have. Pro Tools, Cubase, it doesn't matter what you have. The techniques I'm going to show you is the same. Now, there are several videos that shows you several ways to mix, but this is just my approach. Now, just by listening, or I haven't listened to this track yet, but just by looking at it, there is some cleaning up to do. Just looking at it, this is my first time opening up. I have not pressed play yet, so I'm not really sure what to expect. And this is a gospel multi-track session that we've completed and was sent to me to complete the mix on it. So some of the things I will first do, well, I guess I can just show you guys how to clean up things. So we'll just be taking a listen to some of these tracks and cleaning up some things here and there, just so we know where everything is, and cut down the confusion. You know what I'm saying? That's a good practice. Cleaning up everything first before you mix. All right. So if you need to color code everything, or you need to label tracks, that's a great plus. And this is actually a great technique. Cleaning up your tracks before you send it to any mix engineer. You want to make sure that all of your tracks, all of your audio, MIDI, whatever you're sending, is labeled and or color code. You know what I mean? But it's just a preference thing. If your mix engineer happens to be using Logic, then the color code will work. But if they are in Pro Tools and you're coming from Logic, then I wouldn't focus that much on it, because you'll have to bounce everything out as waves anyway, and it doesn't come with color. But anyway, let's just play a few seconds of this here.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
All right, now that's enough for me to understand what I have, what I'm working with. So basically what I would start doing is selecting all of these tracks here, and I'll kind of bring them down. And what I like to do is work track by track, seeing what they are. All right, but I'm gonna bring this back up because I'm not getting ready to mix yet. This is that I just showed you what I would do when I get ready to start mixing. But like I'm going to show you, we're going to focus on cleaning up everything and rearranging everything. So what I typically like to do is keep the drums together. So let's see. I'm going to select all of these drums here, and I'm going to come back and get the rest of the percussion. I like to move these all the way up to the top, or let that be the first that I work on. I like to get the drums together first. And this is also a part of the drums down here. And so I'm gonna bring them up here. And what's wonderful about Logic Pro X is they have what's called track stack. This is actually a loop that I did, and some things did not come through like it was supposed to, so I end up having to send it separately. Let's see if it works now. Let's solo that. Okay, let's see about the tambourine. Okay, so as I'm looking at this here, we just cleaned up everything right now. This track right here is not, there's no audio coming on here at all. So those are some of the things that I see automatically. I love to activate this here, just click on it, and it definitely bring all the waveforms in view a lot better. And if you need, more clarification, you can also long press on that wave icon and just move it in. All right, and and then you can see better what you're doing. But I like it around here. That's cool, so I can see the transients as they hit. I don't want it so fat where I don't understand what's going on. So the first thing I would do is zoom in. Okay, I see that these 2 tracks are not playing absolutely nothing, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And just to be perfectly, just to make sure that there's nothing on it, I'll just play it. Because you never know. There may be something on there. I have had situations, but if there's something on it, there at least should be a line through it. But you never know. Sometimes it be stuff on, because it could be something hiding behind this region here, and you don't know, So because everything is not being consolidated on that channel. You know what I mean? So there's nothing there. So we're going to get rid of that. Get rid of these both here. And we're going to zoom back out, and we're going to continue cleaning and finding out where everything. So these are already labeled conga, shaker, tambourine, and it's already in the track stack folder, which is awesome. All right. So the drums sound flat to me. Definitely need some work, but we are just rearranging everything. So kick, snare, hat. Where is my hats at? Hi-hats. There we go. It's HH for hi-hats. I like to just spell it out. It just kind of helps me. You don't have to. Again, preference. This is preference. I didn't do the session. It was sent to me from my other partner. So, I just do things a little differently. Everybody has their own ways of doing things. This is the bottom snare, and I like my toms to come next after the hats. Then I got my overhead, which should be stereo. No, it's not going to be stereo because the ride is the other stereo, well, the other mic. So we got a mic over the ride and then a mic over more so the cymbals. Sometimes I'll say overhead 1 or overhead 2 or overhead left or overhead right. It just depends on how you want to label everything. I will definitely incorporate the track stack for this here, for the drums. Summing track, that is, or summing stack. And we're just going to label it drums. And basically what this is a auxiliary channel. So now when I want to mute or solo, you know what I'm saying? All right. I thought I was deactivating that record button, but I don't know what's going on. Wow. Don't hit the record button because you're going to experience that. All right. It shouldn't matter. Auxiliary channel cannot record anyway, but I saw it lit up and just thought, that shouldn't be lit up. Let me just click that. And that's how it did me, man. All right. So that's my drums, right? Now, what I like to do, let's see. Let's make sure that my color are showing. Okay, my colors are showing because I can see them. Okay, cool. So when coloring your tracks, this is what I like to do. Although everything is labeled all pretty, everything got a name and stuff, you know what I mean? Nothing says audio. The famous name on each channel, audio 1, audio 2, audio 3, that thing that just aggravate every engineer. Now you see why. See why they go in on people who don't do that. That's not good when you sending people things that you want them to mix and it just says audio 1 all the way to 26. That's just aggravating. So that means we got to spend more time trying to figure out what everything is, where, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why you need to label your track. I like to go a step further and color everything. I might as well just go ahead and grab the auxiliary or with the bus or the stack, and I like to color everything. Give everything a solid color. Blue is okay, but let's do something else. I'll give it another type of blue because that's, just to spruce it up a little bit. So I'm gonna color that, and the reason why I'm doing it from the mix side, because I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do next, because I'm gonna go and get everything colored at the same time with one click of a button instead of doing everything individually. I could definitely go inside the range window and color everything, but I'm gonna show you the benefit of doing it this way. All right, so this is the drum loop. Okay, the drum loop seems to be fine. It's already colored. We forgot to erase this boom because there is nothing on here, because the boom should be, there is no boom. Okay. By the way, guys, the boom's like a boom sound, for real, like a boom. Anyway, I gotta fix that. I have to bring that back in. I'm going to bring that back in because really it's supposed to be inside of here. It's just sticking out. So, all right. So here's the cue, the voice cue.
Hold it up. Drive it. 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Let's relabel that VOQ. That just helps me understand better. All right. I got my keyboard, the piano here. No, piano and organ, bells, pads, strings, synth, acoustic. Let's bring the bass. Let's bring the bass up. Let's see. Right there. Actually, right here. I like the bass to be next to the drums. That's just my thing. I just feel like that's a great combination, and it's just man, go right into that. That's how it is for me. I'm gonna bring the cues all the way over here. Just because it's different. We're just trying to keep everything lined up. I got my keys, the organ. I got the bells, acoustic. I'm gonna kind of bring the acoustic guitars. Let's see right here. And again, this is just preference. This just me. Hey, there's no real science behind this here. If I bring the acoustic guitars up here, it's just gonna sound totally better. No, it's just my preference. When I'm cleaning up everything, to me, the correct way of doing things to me is, I can actually put this acoustic guitar anywhere. Yep. Let's move the bells down here. And I guess that's okay. Yeah, so let's finish coloring everything. I can give the bass, I don't know, give it a brown. Actually, let's do it like that. And I can actually individually color these if I want to. But the whole point is just coloring everything so it won't be the same color. And you know what I'm saying? Just to give everything a sense of unity, I guess. And these are probably like, I try to group things the best way I can. You got the pads and strings and the synth in this instance are like, they almost doing the same thing. They kind of like, it's like an ensemble by itself. You know what I mean? Like, for what they're doing in gospel type music, this style of music. All right. And then my VOs, I guess it could stay green. So what I'm going to do here, and this is what I was going to show you. I'm going to select everything and just right click on a region. I have everything already selected, and I'm going to go to name and color by region. Voila, one click. And for those channels that I renamed, I'm just gonna say name regions by track. Voila, as you can see. So let's see, what was it that we changed? We changed the hats. See, now it reflects here. That's the name we changed it to. So now it says hats, just like the channel. So now when you're looking at this here, now it looks a lot better. Now we can, okay, the drums right here. So since, if you're not looking over here in this section, you're looking over here and you cutting back on stuff, but you want to kind of get a sense of what it is right quick, instead of, it just really helps, understand where everything is when everything is color coded or whatnot. So that's pretty much what I usually do. And I'll go and listen, and sometimes there needs to be something cut or edited or whatever, but that's just later on in the process as I go and start mixing. And then I'll notice those things and do some crossfading and stuff like that. And let's listen to the end of this. Now, where everything has just ended, what I like to do, I could do one or two things. I could slap on a fade at the end, or I can bring it back some and put a fade on it. It's really up to me, but I won't push it back too far. I'll just rather put a fade right there, and that just eliminate from any clicks or clips at the end as the song really ends. And I'll bring this back just a tad right there. Actually, I will bring it back a little bit more because it sounded like it cut out too soon. So just to give it, kind of a natural. All right. So that's what I would do, and that's how I would clean that up. And then those other tracks that did not quite meet the edge, I'll definitely still put a fade on the end, just to avoid from anything that could possibly happen. So just put like a small fade on the end. You know what I'm saying? And this one right here, it's like some of the stuff is getting close to the edge. You can see the waves as it hit the edge, and you just, fade it on out. These are just some of the things that I do. So that's the first thing. Now I noticed that there was probably an issue, just some things I see automatically right here. There's probably was some issues there, and it was cut here, or it was a retake, or let's see, let's check it out. Almost sound like a clip right there. Okay. There was probably some noise in between. And that's what I would do. Go back and these are the things that you find out when you mix. You have to cut some places here and there. But in my opinion, it's not good to leave that stuff wide open. You just go in and put the fade in there because you don't want it to just abruptly, Let's see. That needs to be smoother. Yep. And I'll just put a crossfade right there. If it lets me. Don't look like it's gonna let me. Alright. It didn't let me. Let me unclick. Let's go back in here and see what's going on here. All right. I had more than one region selected. That's why it didn't let me do it the first time. Let's clean this up. Gonna bring this back just a little bit and activate my cross tool again and kind of move everything like just like that. Just like that. So when I play it, it should. All right. That sounds a little bit better. It's not that much of a difference. It's a subtle difference, but it, you know, if you don't clean that up, it could create some problems in the long run, you know, like a clipping issue. So this is, I'm more than sure that this was like done in takes. You know, came back and cleaned up some stuff in areas, and that happens. That happens a whole lot. So let's see. Let's bring. Nope. Let's undo that. All right. Let's do like something like that. There's some noise going on that I hear, which is sound like the picking is hitting the mic on the guitar. And sometimes, you know, that is normal. Sometimes the way that you mix your music, that stuff you may not hear. You know what I mean? Putting EQs and cutting frequencies here and there, you can clean that up. But right here, we just cleaning up everything. And most of the times I like to also put something on the front end of everything as we start the song. So there's a nice little fade in the beginning.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
Might be too much, especially here. I'll cut back just a tad bit because, okay, the voice cue kind of comes in like immediately, so I don't want to cut off too much of that.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
All right. Now, I can show you guys some of my techniques that I use when mixing in the next video. Thank you for watching. Music is art. You're the artist. Paint your picture.